Starts now.
Hello, rainy day people. Time to enjoy the Northwoods from your couch. Jeff and I will chat about his first class flying experience and the Hodag Heritage Ceremony coming up tomorrow. Then Bill Vankos from the Rhinelander Historical Society will join us to talk about Wisconsin's old beer bars. And we'll catch up with NAF Director Tammy Modak about an upcoming golf scramble. We'll get to all of that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. Yesterday, I mentioned that Governor Evers wants to get the Park Falls Mill up and running again by funding it through Medicaid expansion savings. But Republican lawmakers won't have it. Republican leadership in Wisconsin's state legislature say they will immediately gavel out of the special session scheduled for next week. This means the mill will not open through the governor's plan. Republican leaders Jim Steineke and Chris Kapenga called the plan a unserious stunt. Wisconsin is one of 12 states that have not yet taken advantage of the Medicaid expansion. If you're looking for that next collectible item, you might want to check out Merrill's community-wide rummage sale on Saturday. This year, the stuff should be doubled since the annual event didn't happen last year. I think that's how math works. Anyway, while you're down there, grab some free cheese curds at the Merrill Festival grounds between 11 and 3, but you might want to get there early because there is only 100 pounds of cheese curds available. The Marathon County Board caught the attention of the New York Times this week after an executive committee voted down a resolution to declare the county a welcoming place for all. Here's a picture from the meeting last week. Actually, this is not the picture, but 28 people addressed the board for 3 minutes each. There's the picture. 18 were against the resolution, while 10 supported it. In response to the board saying no, Wausau Mayor Katie Rosenberg took things into her own hands. She declared her municipality, Wausau, a community for all. County board members Yilang Zhang, William Harris, and Ka Lo spoke at the declaration. Wisconsin has signed onto a lawsuit against internet provider Frontier Communications. You may have them as your internet provider. The state alleges that the company did not provide consumers with promised internet speeds and they overcharged. Attorney General Josh Kaul says when companies fail to live up to their promises, they should be held accountable. 4 other states joined Wisconsin in the lawsuit. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joins us now. Jeff, happy Thursday.
Hey Dan, happy Thursday. Well, the rain showers out there now will continue through tonight and tomorrow. All of them are light currently, but tomorrow they could get a little squirrely with a couple of thunder showers across the area. Going closer now, though, you can see where it's raining right now, but pretty much everybody will be under a pop-up shower or storm tonight and throughout the day tomorrow before it finally winds down on Saturday morning. And that looks something like this outside right now. Lots of cloud cover, looks very humid as well. The trees are greening up as we speak. Lots of rain showers across the area too. All right, so the bigger picture shows just a conveyor belt of moisture flooding right into Wisconsin. In fact, here it is. The high pressure is actually right over here. Around the high pressure, the air goes clockwise, so like this, right? So you can see the idea of pumping all this moisture, and it has like a fire hose right on Wisconsin. So if we get something to lift the air a little more, that could become some showers and storms tomorrow, and that is a cold front which is on the way. That could give us really some severe weather tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. All right, so it's not going to be a widespread severe weather event, but tomorrow could get a little loud with some gusty winds, some small hail, and frequent lightning as well. This is the area we're watching across parts of central, northeastern, and southwest Wisconsin for the potential for some severe weather tomorrow. So not tonight, but tomorrow. The biggest threat here is going to be some locally heavy rainfall, but there could be some small hail in there as well. If you go up in the atmosphere right now, about 10,000 feet, it gets very cold very quickly, and that is a good idea for some hail. Wind damage, too, could be a concern, but overall, not so much for tomorrow. All right, temperature-wise today, though, here we are hanging out in the 70s or upper 60s and 70s again, even an 80 right there in Green Bay. So the atmosphere is kind of fighting it out. There's some rain-cooled air across the area, and that will likely change tomorrow as well. Going forward, though, so here's our trend. 83 is the forecast high on Saturday, followed by a bit cooler Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
When you spend your whole life working,
training,
waiting
for one moment,
and suddenly
you have to wait for that moment even longer.
You know how you feel?
Like you want it even more.
summer, the world comes back together.
For an Olympics unlike any other.
NBC News Watch 12. News from where you live.
Huge auction, Hurley, Wisconsin, May 23rd. Vans, trucks, trailers, Genie Lift, tools, forklift, and much more. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Take it away, boys.
Update your home and get 11% off everything at Menards. Give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of tile from Mohawk. Mohawk features a large selection of ceramic, porcelain, mosaic, and glass tile. Fast Tile Porcelain Tile is a floating floor system that doesn't require any mortar. It can be installed in just one day. Get 11% off Mohawk's Fast Tile Porcelain Tile. Save with 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The natural beauty of the Northwoods beckons us to play outdoors, but there is a visitor we must carefully avoid: ticks and the illnesses they carry.
I thought it was a tick bite, but my test was negative. Then I had months of joint aches, brain fog, and bad headaches.
Our medical staff is thorough, experienced, and focused on the patient.
One approach doesn't work for all. Treating a tick-borne illness requires experience in treating multiple symptoms and developing unique care plans. Call us today.
Next summer, the Games return. For an Olympics unlike any other.
We're back, Jeff, and I have to say, you're still glowing from your pampered, your massage, your pedicure, your manicure from your first-class flight.
Okay, so many of you knew I flew back from Anchorage, Alaska on Tuesday, and Delta upgraded me to first class without asking them. They just did it, right? My first time in first class, and it was amazing. So the legroom is fantastic, the service is fantastic, but I gotta say, it may not be for me. Okay. Just because the conversations you have with people in first class are different. For example, the lady next to me was complaining her limit on her credit card was too low. It was $30,000. She told us the number, right?
Yeah.
You don't have those kind of conversations in the back.
No.
Right? No, you don't have them, right?
You know what I don't get about airlines, Jeff, and I think you should change this, is why they put the first class people in first, right? So then everyone has to walk past them, and they always give you that smug look.
That's right, and I think that's part of the draw, right? They want you to feel like you want to be up here.
Were you giving people kind of a smug look as they walked past you, like, oh,
no.
second class?
I think I was just too excited. I wanted to feel the whole experience, and you do get great service, the legroom, you can walk around, it's a blast, right? You get your own bathroom, but I gotta tell you, the conversations are different. They're just different, right? I'm like, okay, you know, people in the back have completely different conversations than people in the front.
Well, I want to take a couple shots of the Alaska trip. I think we have that right there. Any more reflection on your trips, Jeff?
Alaska was amazing. I mean, the air is super fresh. There's like moose walking down the road. I was at a seaplane base, which of course is my favorite little hobby, right? Flying airplanes and seaplanes and stuff. So it was just the ideal trip for me, but it was just beautiful this time of year up there. The weather, it was 50s. You had 80s, I had 50s. I had 4 layers on, and I'm looking at you in the studio, and it's like, it was 80 back here. I'm like, oh. But it was a bit chilly. But overall, I gotta say, just the people, all 3 trips, right? St. Thomas, Waikiki Beach, and Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. Everybody was just so friendly. And I told you in Alaska, I walked up to a bar before I knew it, like 5 people were around me. You know, one guy is offering me a ride on a seaplane, other people are buying me a drink.
Right.
And it's just one of those things that I was just like, this is cool. They could tell I wasn't from around there.
You know, accepting a ride in a seaplane, that takes an ultimate level of trust with
What'd you
someone
call it?
you've
I was
never met.
like a taxi?
Hitchhiking on a seaplane. Jeff, I do want to get to what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We're going to be going to the Hodag Heritage Ceremony. We have some information for you guys. So Jeff and I will be there pending some storms. I know it's a little iffy tomorrow, but we're really going to try to be there. The event starts at 3. We'll be there around 3:30, 3:45. We'll be there live, hopefully, so everyone should go definitely check that out tomorrow and say hi to us if you're there.
It's gonna be a fantastic event. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we'll be there.
That'll be fun. We gotta take a break. Right after that break, Bill Vankos will join us to talk about Wisconsin beer bars. We'll see you then.
It's time to get your cuddle on, improve your sleep, and save money with a new mattress from Furniture and Mattress USA. Save an additional 21% off during the spring sale. And check out the new styles of mattresses available for spring and summer only. Come feel the difference in comfort and price today. And as always, if you like it, you can buy it and take it with you. View all new styles arriving weekly on Facebook Marketplace or visit Furniture and Mattress USA and the Lazy Boy Comfort Studio, Highway 45 North, Attigo.
At Marthaler's in Minocqua, we don't sell you a car, we help you buy a car. It's our goal to provide you with an excellent purchase and ownership experience. Stop by Marthaler's on Highway 51 in Minocqua or shop, click, and drive at MinocquaCars.com.
My name's Arthur, Merrill, Wisconsin. In August of 2019, I started getting numbness in my feet. By July of 2020, my feet were so numb, I lost a sense of balance. I thought I was walking on stilts. I seen this ad for Spinal Aid. I took 20 treatments from them, and by then my feet were 90% better and no longer felt as I was walking on stilts.
Are you experiencing weakness, numbness, and or pain in your feet or hands? These sensations might even be affecting other areas of your body along with your balance. You might have already been diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy and are taking drugs such as Lyrica, gabapentin, or Cymbalta that never seems to help. Neuropathy pain ultimately diminishes your quality of life. Call Spinal Aid of Wausau today to see if our treatment methods are right for you. Call 715-203-1508 to schedule your neuropathy severity consultation or visit us at spinalaid.com.
Everybody loves popcorn and puffs, so Newswatch 12 and Minocqua Popcorn and Puffs want to help you celebrate by sending tasty birthday treats.
If you want your chance to win a gourmet bucket of popcorn for you or your loved one, make sure to submit your birthday club entry on our website, WJFW.com.
One lucky viewer will win a free half-gallon bucket of Minocqua popcorn.
At Garden Path Greenhouse, you'll find hundreds of varieties of gorgeous, locally grown plants, common favorites, and rare species. Garden Path Greenhouse is in full bloom. Come see us today for the best selection. Garden Path Greenhouse, just west of US 51 off Double N Wausau.
Welcome back to Up North at 4 and our How We Got Here series. We're joined by Rhinelander's Bill Vankos. Bill, how are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
When you told me about Wisconsin beer bars, I was blown away. I had never heard this concept before. So tell us about Wisconsin beer bars and the ones in Rhinelander.
Okay, very good. Yes, oftentimes you can divide people into two groups. For instance, your group would be viewers or potential viewers, right? I mean, we can always do that. So in the olden days, there were two groups of people. There were the beer bars with an 18-year-old minimum drinking age, and then there was the traditional taverns with a 21-year-old drinking age. So there were those two unique things. And so as for your viewers, older viewers, this may bring back some memories of when they started their social lives out at these beer bars. And then for younger people like yourself, this is totally unique concept. So it kind of evolved, and we'll get into that. So it really started with the end of Prohibition in 1933. So prior to 1920 and Prohibition, there was one liquor license, and that covered beer and hard liquor and everything like that. So when it came time to end the Prohibition, for some reason, I'm not sure why, they created 6 months before they actually ended the full Prohibition, they allowed the sale of 3.2% beer called 3.2 beer, a weak beer. So for 6 months that was sold, and then 6 months later the repeal of the entire thing happened. So when that 34 legislature got together in Wisconsin, they created what you want to call the intoxicating liquor law, but they didn't address the fermented malt beverage part of it. So the old standing 3.2 beer was allowed to go to traditional beer, which is, I think, 4 to 7%, something like that. So that was allowed to stay with that 18-year-old age. And then the traditional intoxicating liquor law had that minimum age of 21. So that's when it kind of started. So now we have these beer bars, and there were really two groups in the beer bars. There were resorts that wanted to have a little bar for their guests that were there, but beer bar licenses were much less expensive, and it was much easier just to be able to open up bottles and cans than it was to have to, mix drinks and stuff like that. So a lot of resorts just went to beer bars. And then there was the segment of beer bars that was tailored to young adults, the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. And pretty much that's all that went there was that age group. So we had those two groups going on. A couple of weeks ago, I think you heard about the Old Village, or the Old V, which was an Indian village on Kay west of Rhinelander that also had a gift shop. Well, when they left, somebody turned that into a beer bar, and it was still called the Old Village or the Old V. It was before my time. It burnt down in 1963, so I never got to see it personally. But that was one of the first or the oldest ones that, when I talked to some other people around town, that came up. So the Old Village or the Old V was one of the first beer bars. So with this 18-year-old drinking came a number of problems. There was traveling. There was young people that were driving to go, consume this alcohol, and there were accidents that were happening. So that needed to be addressed by the legislature. There was a lot of use of fake IDs, and so that needed to be addressed by the legislatures too. Now, I want to put a caveat in here. What I'm talking about is strictly hypothetical, and I may have heard it from someone, but things like that. But oftentimes, bars would accept driver's license, as an example, didn't have photos on them until the early 20s. So a driver's license would not have had a photo to identify you. For guys, they had the draft cards. When you're 18, they had to go register for the draft, and they got a draft card. And again, that did not have a picture ID on it. Now, something like that was very handy. Let's use an example. Suppose your older sister's boyfriend was a couple of years older than you, and he might have been 18 and might have had a draft card. Wanting to stay in good graces with the family, he might have been persuaded to loan that out on occasion so that the younger brother then could go someplace. And back in those old days, everybody knew everybody in these towns. So oftentimes you would travel. So in Rhinelander, perhaps they would travel to Tomahawk, as an example. There was a bar called Hoovies there, I'm told. And I'm also told they accepted draft cards. So they may have gone there and done that sort of thing. So again, the legislator had to start addressing this. There were actually 94 proposals of different laws that were put together, and I think 21 of them actually were implemented. And first of all, they had to address the fact that the younger people from the neighboring states were coming over to Wisconsin to drink. So they passed a law that did not allow 18, 19, and 20-year-olds from the bordering states to come in and do it. So that was one way to address that. Then they got into this fact of that they needed a better identification process. So they came up with a requirement for a photo ID, and that would have a picture on it. So they first did that, and then a couple of years later, they came up with one that said that had to be laminated. I'm told that people could cut the bottom and slip a different picture in there, and just all of those things. You hear stories like that, right? And then a couple of years after that, they heightened the demand for the lamination, and it had to be I can't remember what the term was, but it was a more substantial lamination that was required on it. So they kept trying to tighten this stuff up, and of course, young people were figuring out ways to enter on the system every time as well, too. So.
Rocking Wausau like never before. 103.3 WGLX.
The latest weather updates. Weather Watch 12. Weather from where you live.
A technical education is more valuable and essential than ever. with 2/3 of careers in 2020 requiring hands-on skills. Nicolet College provides a quality education and programs that are more flexible, affordable, and relevant in today's careers. For added flexibility, select programs offer monthly start dates and personalized learning. Plus, with courses offered on campus or online, there's a program suited for everyone. Nicolet College is the next step toward your successful career.
Welcome to Patchouli Garden in Park Falls. We love authentic Indonesian patchouli and we specialize in our original custom blends. Everything with the Patchouli Garden name on it we make right here in our store. Visit Patchouli Garden in the store or online.
There's more to a yard than freshly cut grass. There's real life, full of twists and turns. Which is exactly why we built these mowers, to clear the way for stuff like this right here. Run with us, because the best yards are planted with real memories. Nothing runs like a deer.
Stop by Lakeland Lawn and Equipment in Arbor Vitae for special offers taking place for a limited time. Get great deals and service on legendary John Deere equipment.
This is an exciting time for people in central Wisconsin who suffer from hip and knee joint pain.
With this innovative technology, we're able to offer patients a total joint replacement that is positioned to match their individual anatomy.
We can perform with pinpoint accuracy, and we're proud to introduce this technology.
With 3D surgical planning and dynamic joint balancing, getting patients back to the things that they enjoy.
Robotic arm-assisted surgery for joint replacement at Bone & Joint. Call 800-445-6442.
Real estate auction, June 6, Crandon, Wisconsin. Beautiful ranch home being sold to the highest bidder. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Take it away, boys.
This is today's best country. Today's best country. With Breakfast with Big Red. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
I'ma need some whiskey glasses.
Y 106.5.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. I'm here at the beautiful Frederick Place with NATH Director Tammy Modik. Tammy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you, Dan?
I'm doing well. Beautiful day. Beautiful day for golf, even. Let's talk about the Bill Miller Memorial Golf Scramble.
Yes, we are holding that golf scramble on Sunday, June 6th out at Northwood Golf Club. It's actually the 11th year that we've had this scramble. It's most recently been renamed Bill Miller Memorial Golf Scramble, but it is our second largest fundraising event, and we're excited to get people out on the links and shooting some golf balls.
So this will be the 11th annual. And NATH, it usually has a lot of fundraisers kind of throughout the year, probably strategically, but your fundraisers have really been cut short the last calendar year, right?
Right, and our biggest hit came in early this year in February when we couldn't hold our anniversary benefit, which is our largest fundraiser, and having the celebration of 10 years of operation, we were hoping for it to be even larger. So we're looking to make up about $20,000 from that one event.
How can people sign up for the Golf Scramble?
They can either give us a call at Frederick Place, 715-369-9777, or shoot an email to nathnorthwoods@gmail.com. We can get them signed up. It's a 4-person team, $60 a person. If you're not a golfer but still want to help celebrate with us, it's $100 for a hole sponsor, and then you get publicized at the event while the golfers are out on the course.
Okay, that sounds like a fun day. Anything else you want to say, Tammy?
No, I think we're just excited to get back headed in the right direction.
Yeah. Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks, Dan.
We'll be right back on Up North at 4.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Head to AutoGear for the best in automotive accessory installation. AutoGear installs the world's leading brands for all makes and models. Tinting, wheels and tires, custom seat covers, and so much more. Talk to an accessory specialist to see what AutoGear can do for you.
The latest weather updates. Weather Watch 12. Weather from where you live.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Do you remember the moment we met? I told you that I would find the person responsible for murdering my wife. And the whole time it was you. Why?
Live music is finally back. And only Billboard has The Weeknd performing.
It's The Weeknd!
Plus, this year's Icon honoree, Nick Jonas hosts the Billboard Music Awards Sunday on NBC.
Need a new boat? Then it's time to trade and upgrade with American Marine and Motorsports, because we need your old boat. We need to buy fishing boats, pontoons, and speedboats. So trade in your old one and upgrade into a new boat today. Come check out more boats and pontoons in stock than anywhere else in Wisconsin. Or we could help you get top dollar by selling your old boat on consignment. It's time to trade and upgrade with American Marine and Motorsports Shawano.
Welcome to Land O'Lakes, Serenity at the top of Wisconsin.
Stay with us at the Gateway Lodge in Land O'Lakes. Relax in our indoor pool, delicious dinners, and the coziest lounge in town. Come back to tradition at the historical Gateway Lodge.
Huge auction, Hurley, Wisconsin, May 23rd. Vans, trucks, trailers, Genie Lift, tools, forklift, and much more. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Take it away, boys.
Get your gear at Auto Gear, specializing in automotive accessories. Auto Gear carries the world's leading brands for all makes and models. Lift kits, spray bed liners, trailer hitches, and so much more. Visit the showroom in Rhinelander to see what Auto Gear can do for you.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Kitchen Bath Mart.
We'll see you tomorrow at Pioneer Park for Hodag Heritage Ceremony. Hopefully it's not raining. Probably will be. We'll see you then.